Hello guys, welcome back to Suzuwio's Couture online class. It's been ages. I dropped tutorials, we've been very busy trying to record our online class, but the workload has reduced now. Welcome back. And I also want to say a big thank you to my new subscribers. I see you guys. I'm grateful for the subscription. Thank you all. And if you're watching this video, you're new to my channel, please do well to subscribe and also set your notification bell for more exciting tutorials. Okay, so today we're going to be working on how to make a bootcut trouser. I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut a proper trouser. So the first thing we want to be doing now is to get our starting line. From this edge, you're going to mark half an inch. You come down by half an inch. Half an inch. So this serves as our waistline as well, okay? And then you connect the lines. So this is our waistline. So the next thing you want to do is for us to get our crotch line. So in order for you to get the exact crotch line, your hip divided by 4 will give you your crotch line. In this tutorial, we're going to be working with hip 40, waist 28. Alright, so our client's hip is 40. 40 divided by 4 will give you 10, okay? And then you come down with your 10 inches. You come down by 10. And then you connect your lines. So now the next thing we want to be doing now is to get our knee length. So our knee length is 23. So you come here and then you mark your 23 inches. And then the full length is 43. And then with your 2 inches allowance, folding allowance, okay? So you repeat the same thing here in order for us to have a straight line. Then 23, length 43, and then 2 inches allowance. And then we'll connect the lines. Next thing we want to be doing now is to have our starting line on the side, because we can't just start directly. Okay, so we'll go in by 1 inch. You can do half an inch if you please. And then you connect the lines all the way down. So the next thing you want to do is our hip line. That's the remaining thing. So in order for you to get your hip line, from your crotch line, you just come up by 2 inches. Okay. So if you check, you see from your waist to your hip is 8 inches. So we're accurate. We do that in our skirt a lot. And then you connect your lines. Alright, so these are the lines we're going to be needing: our waistline, hip line, crotch line, knee line, and then the full length of our pants. So the next thing we want to be doing is our hip, the measurement of our hip. You know, we divided our hip by 4 is 10, right? So you're going to place the 10 inches here on your crotch line, and then you come to your waistline. You do the same thing. We want to get our exact crotch line, okay? And then you connect all lines. So this is our crotch line, all right? So now the next thing we want to do is to get our tie round. So our tie round is 23. So 23 divided by 2, you're going to be dividing your tie round by 2, okay? So 23 divided by 2 will give you 11.5. And then you come here and mark 11.5 plus half inch seam allowance. You indicate it here, all right? So from this half inch seam allowance on your tie round, you divide it by 2. Now we want to get our gray line. So you divide it by 2, whatever you have, depending on your client's measurements, you just get the midpoint, okay? And then you come to your knee round, you do the same thing, you repeat the same thing here, down to your length, okay? And then you connect your lines. So this is our gray line. So the next thing we want to do now is to get our knee round. So our knee round is 17. So if you divide 17 by 2, it will give you 8.5. Okay, so this 8.5, we're going to be dividing it by 2 again. So we'll split it on both sides. So 17 divided by 2, whatever you have, all right, you place it here. We have 4.25, and then you place it here and on the other side as well. So you come down to your length, your trouser length, you repeat the same thing, 4.25, all right, so, and then you repeat the same thing here. Okay, just a guide. Remember, we're doing a boot cut. So on this 4.25 on both sides, on the other side, you go out by 2 inches. It's just 2 inches I want to be adding to my boot cut. I don't want it too extra. So if you want it extra, you can do 3 inches. You can even do 4 inches if you want, depending on the kind of boot cut you want to use, okay? And then on the other side, on both sides, we just go out by 2 inches. So we already have our 2 inches here. Now the next thing we want to be doing is we'll come up to our waistline. Now we want to get our waist. So our waist is 28. So if you divide 28 by 4, it will give you 7. Alright? And then you come here and mark 7. You start from this crotch line. Don't start from this side. You start from the crotch line. That's, we have 7, and you add 1 inch seam allowance for your darts. Because our trouser is going to be having darts at the back. Okay, so this is it. Now, before we connect our lines, we'll go in here by 1 inch just to enable us rule out our crotch line, okay? And then we'll connect it this way. So now we're going to be connecting all our lines. So we'll start from the waist. So I'm going to be using my curved ruler to achieve that. And then we'll connect this to this, and then all right. So this is it. Now you can see the leg. Like I said, you can do 2.5, you can do 3 inches, you can do 4, 5, as long as you want it very, very extra. But for the sake of this class, we're just going to be stopping at 2 inches. All right, so this is our front panel. So the last thing we're going to be doing before we cut is to, on this waistline, you go down by 1 inch. We do that a lot with our skirts just to avoid some bulge in front, so that your trouser can sit very well, and then you just slant it. I'm sure you're not new to this. We do it in trouser as well. So you just slant it. And this is all for our front panel of our boot cut trouser. And now we'll cut. Don't cut this place out, just leave it this way. When we cut the back, okay, that's when you cut it down. So just leave it the way it is. So this is our back, properly placed, properly pinned. Okay, first thing you want to be doing is to connect all lines. So we'll start from the hip line. You just connect your lines. You just bring it out a bit. Okay, come to your knee line. You do the same thing to the length. Do the same thing all the way down. All right. From this point, you come up by 1 inch. All right, you just come up by 1 inch, and then you slant it to this point, to the end of the front. All right. So this is what we're going to be doing. And then next thing we want to do is to get our waist measurement. So remember, our waist is 28. 28 divided by 4 will give you 7. So you mark your 7 here. So this is our 7, and then you come out by 3.5 inch. Okay, so this 3.5 inch, you connect it directly to this crotch line, this original front crotch line. So you just stick it up. Okay, so this is it. This is it. So the next thing you want to be doing now is on our crotch line, you go out by 2.5. You know, when we're cutting the front, we didn't add any allowance. All allowance is going to be at the back. So you go out by 2.5 inches. And the rest of this place is 2 inches. Just the crotch. The crotch is 2.5. And then the rest of this place is 2 inches all the way down. 2 inches. 2 inches. So now here, what we need to do is to connect our crotch line at the back. Okay, you can just use a free hand and do it. All right. So you just use your free hand and connect it, and that's it. All right. All the allowance is just going to be on this side. Nothing. We're not adding anything to this hip side. No. So we'll connect all the lines now. And then connect it to the down part as well. Okay, and it's that simple. We are done. If you follow this pattern very well, you see you won't have any issues with your crotch lines and your flab coming out. You know those kind of trousers. So yes, we're done. The next thing we want to do now is to cut. It's as simple as that. Okay, now you can cut this front. So here is our bootcut trouser. I hope you understood every step. So thank you guys for participating in this tutorials. If you're just coming across my YouTube channel, don't forget to click on the subscribe button. I'll see you in my next tutorial.